welcome along to the ninth round of the RFC Division 2 Championship. I'm of course here, this time all alone on my lonesome for this sprint weekend. And I mean, after the chaos that was last night's race, I'm sure that we are in for a pretty belter of a race. But I don't even know if that even made sense. But first, we have got to get through the sprint quali and, of course, then the sprint race, which is 9 laps. This time, no Alaya Marley, so we're going to have to watch Tom Burton instead. But still, if it's not one Alpine, it's the other one. Of course, a full grid of everyone. One issue, which I believe is the other Haas. So I'm going to quickly message while I can. I actually don't know who they are, to be honest. Might be useful if I did. Atlee. So we'll just ask him for his telemetry, and then everyone will be sorted. Actually, by the way, like the earliest RFC start, we James started we were readying up at 59, so that is the beauty of the game. But now we are ready to start the first lap of this sprint quali session with Burton in the Alpine. Of course, the long run down towards turn 1. A lot of people will be running very low wings as his teammate stays out of the way there. As through into turns 1 and 2, the beautiful chicane that for some reason is going to be absolute carnage in both the races, we can just guarantee already. And now rounding through turn 3, as a couple people start to set their laps as well. Bit of traffic ahead of Burton in the of course early stage of the session, and beautiful round there. And now coming towards the two Lesmos, has a Ferrari a little bit ahead of him, so maybe we'll want to, of course, dispatch of that, or maybe get a little bit of a slipstream. I mean, plenty ahead. You can kind of see him there in the camera as Tezeo holds on to the purple sector 1 so far, as we have pretty much everyone out on track at the moment. As Burton rounds through Ascari, and it seems pretty clean, nice and neat and tidy. Of course, they're all on the medium tyres for their first laps, as you see the cars behind all weaving ready to start their laps. As Cody takes away that sector 2, but Tezeo right behind him. You can see on the map, actually, really close behind him is Tezeo, as across the line goes Burton, and he's going to set the benchmark of a 19.6 there, well, pretty much 19.7. As Van der Sant's on a pretty good lap so far, as we watch Cody Clark round through the final corner and towards the line. See whereabouts he goes, as he goes top of the time. And Tezeo there takes that away straight away. The next one will be Van der Sant, who crosses the line. Only goes P2 behind Tezeo. His teammate goes up into P3. The next one is Atlee to cross the line. He goes up into P4. And now it's Shelby, in the Red Bull, trying to match his teammate as he rounds through the final corner towards the line. And we'll see about 5 tenths down on his teammate there, so not as good. However, Tsunami there, in the Ferrari, was trying to find him and I missed him. Crosses the line. He goes provisional top of the timing board. And we'll watch Pablos here, who's matching his teammate at the moment. Tsunami putting a great benchmark in with that 11-1. 18-1, sorry, not 11-1. Nice one, mate. As Terry, a little bit behind, will set a lap afterwards. But Pablos trying to match his teammate, of course, coming off the back of a race win before penalties last time out in Div 3. So, and wow, the final sector, Pablos there lost so much time and only goes P3. And, sorry, words. As Matthew next across the line joins his teammate on the kind of back row of the people who have done laps. As next one across the line is going to be Josh Duffy, who is luckily he has a quali ban, but can do the the sprint quali, as he about 10th and a half down on Tsunami at the moment in the first 2 sectors. Statlev on a pretty poor lap. Well, what he's used to at least. Shadow about a second down, so puts him around the top 10. Of course, about 8 cars still yet to do a lap. As Duffy rounds through Parabolica and towards the line. Parabolica? Yeah. As he goes up into P4. As Statlev next across the line. Only good enough for P10 behind his teammate. And next one is, I tried to get him, but it was Shadow. But he only goes P13 as SV pops into the pits. The next one will be Jeffyboy, who crosses the line to, believe, finish a slow lap. I think he might have had an invalid, I'm not even sure. As his lap time is not going to come up automatically. Me when I have to actually like do something that I used to have to do anyway. As so far, just the 4 cars yet to set a lap, which is the 2 Williams, Hazy, and then William Salu. Salu, of course, trying to fight for the championship in this division with his teammate. They're currently the only 2 real drivers that seem to be threatening for the Drivers' Championship. As Jeffyboy looking okay at the moment, really. I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest, just doing okay. As, of course, leading the championship at the moment. He's about 3 tenths down on Tsunami. Tsunami, great first initial like banker lap. So he's looking pretty good so far. As he rounds through Parabolica and will head towards the line. I mean, this has not really been a special lap from Jeffyboy, to be honest. It's been just an average lap. We'll see if he can clutch up in that final sector. Goes up into P5. And, I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. As Matthew might be on a lap, actually, because I believe he might have just doubled. Try and find his name on this massive list. We'll see if he's on a lap. I mean, he was slower in the first sector, but improved in the second. It's not looking like a quick lap time as he crosses round, yeah, I mean, comes into the pits. So, still a couple drivers to do laps. I believe Level might be on a second run as well. We'll try and pick up his lap timer. I think he's just weaved a little bit there, so I don't think he is. Yeah, there you go. He's slowing down as he rounds the final corner. Shelby's come out as well. We'll see if Level starts a lap. No, he's not going to start a lap, so we'll hop over to the current second place man of William Salu in the championship, I mean, of course. As we have a little look. I'm not even sure if this is going to work. Yeah, it does. Yep, as you see, currently second place. Needs to get a good lap time here. We'll clear that. Hopefully it will come up with the race timer. There we go. As Salu starts his first and what could be final run. We've got just over 3 minutes left of the session to go. And so far not yet to set a time is Salu. As Atlee starts his next lap as well. Currently P11, so needs something in that Haas. As Salu, about half a tenth down on Tsunami in the first sector. The Ferrari showing its straight line speed a little bit. This is the perfect track for the Ferrari. Still technically apparently not the fastest, as you can prove the Ferrari engine is good, as Haas of Atlee takes the is quicker than Tsunami, which is, I mean, they're both Ferrari powered cars. As Salu gets a purple in sector 2 and is literally matching Tsunami's time, so is in for a good shot at pole position here in the sprint race. Shelby with a great first sector there. Purple sector 1 and 2 tenths faster than Tsunami, but maybe has burnt a little bit too much ERS in the first sector to then screw him over for the last 2 sectors on the track. Salu crosses the line. He can only muscle P2 there. 4 tenths down the first lap on the soft tyres. Atlee will be next across the line. And we'll see where he can put the Haas car. Salu will definitely go out and do another lap, so we'll see him come round again. Shelby on a great lap so far, as Atlee only good enough for P7 on those soft tyres, but Shelby lighting up the timing board so far. Purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2. It's going to be a good lap from Shelby. We'll see whereabouts he can well, yeah, sorry, how much of an advantage he can have over Tsunami as he crosses the line, and he's 2 tenths slower in the final sector, and he goes P2. That lap from Tsunami was insane, because no one can match that sector at all. As we now watch SV try and actually do a lap, Hazy's behind him as well. These could be the final lap times that we see from these drivers, as SV rounds through the first sector towards the first chicane. He has Shelby ahead of him, who will hopefully get out of the way in quick time, as he's 5 thousandths faster than Tsunami in the first sector, as Shelby there cuts the track to make sure he stays out of the way of the other cars. Very good from him. He's slower in the first sector than he was last time around. However, I'm sure it's more about, you know, the final lap time. Well, I mean, he's yet to set a lap so far, so I guess that's comparing to the other lap? I'm not sure. As SV is matching Tsunami at the moment in the first 2 sectors. 5 thousandths between them. Look at the traffic he's got ahead of him, though. First the Mercedes, next the Aston Martin. He might get away with not clashing with that Aston Martin. It might be okay. But rounding through the final corner, and we'll see whereabouts SV can drag that Williams. It's been a great lap so far in the first 2 sectors. We'll see how much he falls off compared to Tsunami as he goes up into P3. Hazy is good enough for P14. And now everyone's starting to set their final laps as well. As Burton on a lap at the moment. We'll need to maybe add Salu to the mix, because I believe Salu might be on another lap. So we'll try and add him in the timers, and then I think Matthew as well, we'll try and add him as well, so we should have everyone. Not sure. As Burton comes across the line, where can he drag the Alpine? It's only good enough for P15, with plenty of drivers behind him who can improve. As Pablos rounds through the final corner, currently P6, really wants to match what his teammate did on those medium tyres. He crosses the line, he's P2 for him, so he has not beaten Tsunami's lap on those mediums. Van der Sar crosses the line, he's on a slow lap. Tsunami beats his lap time. Salu can only go P5, and I can't even see who's the next across the line. It was Clark, and he goes a little bit faster. Terry goes up into P13. We'll try and remove those two and get them out of the way, as Tezeo there goes up into P2. Oh my god, we're missing all of the lap times. The time is a little bit bugged here. As, I can't even see what's happening. Duffy goes up into P3. I'm trying to guess. Level goes up into P2. We're seeing random timers here. The timer's definitely a little bit broken here, as we just remove everybody. And SV, I don't think, is going to be finishing another lap as he crosses the line. But that is Tsunami on pole position in the Ferrari. I mean, we were a little bit carnage there because everyone was just doing everything. As Ferrari take pole position at Monza. Of course, this is for the sprint, but leads very well into the main qualifying session, where you know that you have the pace to challenge. I mean, Davey was so clear of the rest of the field most of that session. Definitely seems like he is the man to beat here. As a couple of people there not having good laps. Statlev having a really off lap there, really far down, which is strange to see him so far down. As you look through the rest, well, especially considering his teammate is up into P12. Only real standouts is the fact that Salu's only P9 maybe. But other than that, it's very close as we head towards the sprint race. As we wait now for the sprint to start, we'll see probably a range of medium and hards. You should just pick hards, because I believe there's a glitch where if you run hards, you then just get given a new set of hards. Like the tyre wear just disappears in the main race. It's really bad. I'm not sure if they patched that. I'm sure that Kai can tell me that in the chat, but The little nerd himself could probably say if that's true. As we wait for the sprint race to actually start. Of course, we'll have a formation lap first, but yeah. As here we go for the sprint formation lap. Nice one. I was about to say for the sprint race, but obviously we still have the formation lap. And as I thought, there's a very big mixture of mediums and hards on show, with level going on those mediums, so going to be aggressive at the start, but maybe drop off near the end. Only one of the top 4 teams to go for mediums as well, so a risky strategy for level, but maybe one that he believes that he can I don't know, complete, if we call it that. As Tsunami leads everyone round. Of course, lots of Ferrari fans here at Monza, so they are going to be rooting for probably this man. Of course, they're going to be rooting for Teseo as well, who I believe it is his home race. So they're going to be rooting for the Red Bull car, but also rooting for the Ferrari team. You know, as we ran through Ascari for the first time. It's only 9 laps this sprint, so it is really on the cusp of medium running. Because I think when I've done it in the past, I get to lap like 8 and I'm just finished. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm trying to compare my skills to like other drivers. That is not very, yeah, that's not fair because I'm horrid. Yes, AA, it's me. Of course, it's me on comms. Div 2 is like mine. It's been mine since like season 6, really. I love my little D2 nights. As we wait for the rest of the grids to form up, Shadow bringing up the rear in the Sauber. As we wait now for the last few cars to slot into the grid spots. As we will hide that and get ready for the start. It's going to be Level versus Davey into turn 1. Someone at the back taking a very long time to get into position. As we go to 5 red lights. Very long hold there, and we are finally underway for the Monza sprint, and it's a great start for Teseo. Davey keeps the lead though from the start, covers off Level on the inside. Teseo trying to hold his place as well, trying to go round the outside of Level here. Through into turn 2, there's a bit of contact for the Red Bull driver as Level is pushed as further behind. Salu making contact with someone else, but Level holds on to that position. Teseo though sitting right behind him to maybe make a move into turn 4 as he just had to hold behind us. Further back we see Duffy trying to make a move on Pablos, and Duffy just can't make that move as there's a massive carnage further behind. I'm not sure what's happened between them as the Williams is wide as well, as it's carnage in this little bit midfield fight between the Williams and the Sauber. Look at this, it's 3 wide further ahead as the Racing Bulls tries to make a move on the Alpine. We'll bring up the rows now as they're side by side. Who are we even watching? We're watching Terry and Burton go side by side as we go through into Ascari. Burton on the outside gives enough space as they come to the exit. Really close, hard racing between these two. And now it's a lot of other people getting involved. Jeffyboy's had a honking start there. I think he was one that went wide at turn 4. So he's trying to make the way through as well as there's contact between the Williams. SV falls down the order. He spins across the track. Oh my goodness. Almost hits into the side of the Alpine. As we head back to the leaders now, as we head into turn 1. Davey still keeps the lead, followed by Level and Teseo. The top 5 kind of slotting into a nice little bit of rhythm, and the top 7 kind of sitting with each other as well. As Level will want to try and make a move on Davey early on to maximise the performance from the medium tyres. He's right behind him as we go into turns 4 and 5. The beautiful little chicane, a beautiful little shot that we've got there as we head into the Lesmos. Level still sitting around 4 tenths behind. He's going to have DRS this lap towards Ascari, but I think he'll maybe try and hold it towards into turn 1. As we head down the straight, DRS active for the cars behind. Davey sitting pretty at the moment in the lead of the race, not looking under pressure. If anyone's looking more under pressure at the moment, it is Level, who is under immense pressure from Teseo in the Red Bull, as he is very close behind. As actually, if we switch that to interval, we can really see how close behind he is, as he sits behind Level waiting to maybe pounce on a move. Level not really showing as much pace as I thought he would at the moment. As we head down the straight, Davey holding supreme at the moment down the straight. Teseo looking for a move. No, Pablos is looking for a move on him. As Teseo breaks really late and hits it to the side of Level. Random move that he definitely did not want to go for it for. And now he's lost the exit speed, and Pablos has managed to get round him. It's an easy move for Pablos, and Pablos is maybe shaping up a move on Level as well. He's going to try and stick a nose down the inside into the turn 4, and Level breaks a little bit later. There's a bit of contact as Level holds it at the moment, as Duffy trying to go for a move as well, and they're 3 wide going into Lesmo 1, and it's going to be Shelby down the inside. He's going to make a little bit of contact. It's now the 2 Red Bulls side by side, and now it's Duffy side by side. Jesus Christ, and Teseo's ended up going wide after all that. Teseo heads wide and goes down to P7. Salu's now got through up into P6. As we look towards the leader, look at Davey, made an insane amount of ground from them fighting. 2.1 seconds is now the gap. And now Level, all on his own on these medium tyres. He's going to be struggling a little bit in this stage. Shelby looking racy as well behind Pablos, as SV gets a 3 second all the way down in P20 after that spin at Parabolica. As we head down towards turn 1, Level not seeming to have the straight line speed that the Ferrari has. As down the inside goes Pablos towards turn 1. It's an easy slam dunk move, and Pablos moves into P2, and it's a Ferrari 1-2 as it stands in the sprint race. Hazy sets the fastest lap. That is very random, as Level not going to go out without a fight here, as he's trying to set up a move on Pablos towards turn 4. It's not going to work that easily though, as behind Duffy providing a little bit of pressure on Shelby as well, but just can't make a move. Neither groups can kind of make moves on each other, as Davey is so clear out in front at the moment. 2.3 seconds to his teammate, as Pablos will try and hold up this group just to preserve Davey's lead. Not that they're not doing a good enough job themselves of holding each other up. As we head now towards Ascari, and it's maybe a little snap there from the Red Bull of Shelby, and Duffy's managed to get a better exit towards Parabolica. And Davey, slowing down a little bit and playing the team game. He's broken into the DRS. He's slowed down 1.7 seconds to give Pablos DRS down the straight. That is insane from the Ferrari driver. He had a chance to easily run away with this race, but he's dropped back to help his teammate. That is insane for Davey, and it's helped him as well, because Pablos, holding in the DRS, has managed to hold on to P3 as everyone breaks into turn 1 nice and cleanly. Salu sitting at the back trying to make a move on Duffy here. Further back, Shadow's making a move, you see in the background, into turn 1. A nice little fight going on there for P12, but we're all focused on this as Salu's down the inside. His contact towards turn 4, and Salu, he snaps and he hits into the side of Duffy, and they both get a 3, I believe. No, somehow Salu hasn't got a 3 for that. Duffy receives a 3 second. That was an instant 3, and down Shelby is holding on now in P4, but Salu and Duffy, I mean, it seemed that Salu just had a little bit of a snap, and that caused him to hit into Duffy, and they both just went off. So very strange for the two drivers, and now Duffy is sat right behind us. Shelby gets a 3 second time penalty, and that was legit at Ascari, we saw. So he's going to drop out of this fight in the top 7, which is really unfortunate, as he's holding very well right now. I reckon Duffy will probably get that 3 second removed, but for now it still remains, as Teseo putting pressure on Salu. As we watch him down the straight, he's burning a little bit to try and get the move done into turn 1. He's going to maybe think about it, but decides against it and holds off again for one more lap, as we're on lap 6 out of 9 now. So the race kind of getting a bit, you know, closer to the end, as Atlee's trying to lead the rest of the field, as further back SV has spun round at the last corner. As we look onto the Ferraris, who are working beautifully together, Davey needs to get a little knighthood from Ferrari for the the beauty of slowing down. Pablos will surely thank him immensely. Of course, this is only the sprint race, where there's only a couple points up for grabs, just the 7 points, but well, 8 points, sorry. But every point matters in this championship fight, especially in the constructors, which is kind of heating up. Ferrari seem to be the well, not in the prime position in any championship. And I mean, if you look at Div 2, they really struggled at the start of the season, and now you look at them now, currently holding the 1-2. I'm sure the change there has been insane over the course of the season, as we head on to lap 7 now, and Tezeo sitting behind the rest of the field after that little incident, and I mean, he's just kind of stuck at the moment. As further behind, you see Hazy going for a move down the inside of Van der Saan. Van der Saan doing very well to hold off the Sauber driver, who looked to try down the inside into turn 1. As further behind, Jeffyboy having a fight with Burton. Of course, that was after the lap 1 spin that's put Jeffyboy all the way down, and it's so difficult to work your way through when everyone else has DRS. As Duffy, speaking of DRS, is actually out of the DRS zone at the moment of Shelby, so that's not great. Shelby also teetering on the edge of DRS for level, so they're starting to build little bits of gaps, and Salu now can try and make a move on Duffy if he can't get within that DRS towards the final start-finish straight. And Salu now will be wanting to capitalise, but I think at the moment he's just snuck into that DRS, but Shelby is out of the DRS, so now maybe Duffy has a chance, but I think he's a bit too far back down the straight. Is about a similar gap to Salu at the moment, so both kind of similar gaps. As we have a little scan, I think Terry set up a move on Riley Murphy. It's probably the best shot we have at an overtake towards turn 1. As we're down the straight, Murphy sitting quite nicely, not really trying to defend, doesn't need to. Maybe Terry not attacking as much going into turn 1, maybe waiting one more lap, as we are on the penultimate lap of the sprint race now. I mean, that first start was chaotic, and did kind of show us that this race is going to be insane, as Hazy there was trying to make a move on Van der Saan again, but Van der Saan doing very well to hold off onto that P9. He's still trying to attack Atlee as well for P8, which is the final points playing position, and I mean, no one ahead has got a 3 second that will affect them, so they are fighting for a legitimate 1 point right now. As Tezeo also gets a 3, so actually now they're very much in fight for 2 points, but I think the gap is maybe a little bit too long as we head down the straight, and it's looking like, I mean Tezeo's kind of out of it now. He's a sealed P7, P8 after that 3 seconds, but we head on to the final lap now. Is anyone going to be brave enough to make a move? I think Duffy is going to make a move on Shelby. Shelby, no DRS to help him fend off. Can't defend. He's got a 3 second. Both Duffy and Shelby both have 3 seconds. As Duffy moves up into P4. His teammate a long way ahead, as Hazy and Van der Saan fighting again. They're side by side out of turn 2, and again Van der Saan doing very well to hold the defensive line, and Hazy's going to have to wait until maybe turn 4, a little lunge, as he's going to burn to try and get side by side into the chicane. He's down the inside. We've seen this earlier on, and he finally makes the move and up into P9 and can maybe try and push on to get Atlee. But I think they've fought a little bit too hard between each other. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that. But we'll cut to the front leaders at the moment. Jeffyboy makes a move up into P15. That does mean absolutely nothing points-wise. But Tsunami from lights to flag there, leads the race, slows down after having a 2.3 second gap to help his teammate secure a P2, and that is going to be, they are going to lock out a 1-2 finish in the sprint race, and it will give them great momentum going into the rest of the session. But Tsunami wins the sprint here in Monza. Pablos makes it a Ferrari 1-2, and Level comes home in a nice P3 on those medium tyres. Salu jumps up to P4 there as Shelby and Tazeo finish P6 and P7 for the Red Bull team after those 3 seconds, as Atlee gets the final points playing position. As we look at, of course, the points for the race, we're going to have a little fight going across the line as Barker overtakes Matthew there. As SV finishes, I mean, does he finish? We don't even know. He's in a wall. Almost beached. He's got a puncture. Yep, he has a rear puncture, so nice one, SV. As not a great day for SV so far. I mean, he had the DSQ in Belgium, which, fair play, wasn't his fault at the end of the session, but still was not very well. SV messaging the chat whilst driving as well. Maybe that's why he maybe that's why he spun. As you watch SV trek to the end, and I'm sure if there wasn't a thing in his contract which said no more DNFs, that he would have just DNF'd on lap 1. But yep, yeah, is it double rear or is it just one rear? Ah, it's just the one. I think at this point it would honestly be quicker for you to just reverse back. He's kind of beached, realises that you can't turn. Yeah, nice one, bud. He's going to be approached by the cars that have finished the race. Almost takes out a Ferrari, or gets taken out, whichever you want to say. As SV will cross the line eventually. It spins across it, goes in the path of pretty much everyone, and there we are. We are all finished. What sprint race that was? That had a massive stint of a couple of laps there where that was insane. But yeah, we head, and there we go. The results for the sprint, and 3 seconds in the top 14, all from that. I mean, Duffy's probably isn't, probably he's going to get removed. As we'll just quickly get the race director. Very long race director that, so we'll have a lot of fun going into the main race when we have to do this. Charlotte's doing W1 today. She did it last week as well, and she won it. So yeah, she's doing it again. So if people could tune into W1 stream and tell me how she's doing, because I think it's a good track for her this week. But we are heading on to short quali now for the actual main race. And Davey currently looking in prime position to take pole position. But of course, anything can happen in this sport, in this game, because really, yeah. As who's going to be the first one out? Burton needs to be the first one out, to be honest, just because of the Alpine heritage. And I'll be very sad if he's not. Nope, it's going to be Shelby. Burton's third out. Alright. As, I mean, you have Loki just cut across the pit line, which can't do. Davey saying the car's amazing. I mean, it says a lot about the Ferrari. I think a lot of people have a lot of complaints. I definitely think it's the setup. I think Kai's given you an unbelievable setup. SV, your car was amazing when it had 3 wheels, to be fair. What's Shelby in the championship? I mean, he hasn't done many races, so we'll see whereabouts he is if we just click it. He is 23rd with 3 points, and I'm pretty sure all those 3 points came from the sprint race. So yeah. As we get ready to start the main quali session, as Shelby's running through Ascari and getting ready to start his first lap and the first lap of the session. I'm not a fan of short quali because I feel like with full we have like 3 big moments of like, oh, it's big quali, oh, it's like end of qualies. As Shelby starts his lap, and we'll see what he can do in the Red Bull. As I mean, I have no way to tell if he's on used or new ones, new tyres. But I'm sure we'll soon find out when he sets a blistering lap time. We'll be like, I've got a feeling that he might be, yep. As Burton invalidates for track limits, so nice lap from him. As SV takes away the purple sector 1 from Shelby, who got it just now. As Shelby's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him, who I believe is a Racing Bull. So maybe a little bit of course, in RFC these aren't sister teams, but in real life maybe you know, we would see something like that definitely. As nice little slipstream from, I believe, I'm not even sure to be honest, maybe Terry. As it's been a good lap from Shelby so far. From what we've seen, at least, it's been pretty good. As SV's behind him in the Williams, trying to make up for that horrible sprint race. As Shelby comes across the line, and he's going to set an 18.6 to start us off. As SV crosses the line, goes about 2 tenths slower than that. As Atlee next across the line, we'll see what kind of lap time he can do. As of course Burton's going to need to set another lap time, which I believe if I put him in Burton, yeah Burton. So I'll put him in the timer rotation. As across the line goes Atlee, only P3, as Barker is P4, is next across the line. Nice one. I was trying to figure out what I was trying to say. As Barker now in the Aston Martin. Not been amazing this season, to be honest, but he's rounding through the final corner, and to see what kind of lap time he'll get in his first run as he crosses the line, and it's a 19 point something, 0. Okay, so gets I mean the last place of the laps so far. As Clark and Terry next to, as the Red Bull gives him a beautiful slipstream down that straight, as I believe this is Clark we are watching. Might be Terry. Yeah, it's actually Terry, sorry, to be honest, as Terry comes across the line and goes up into P2, purple last sector, which I'm sure was because he was getting that slipstream. As Riley Murphy next across the line in the Williams. His teammate is currently P3. Where can he go? He goes up into P2 and almost matches what Shelby was doing. And now it's all down to Salu, who needs a good lap, as he's currently, if I could find him, as he goes up into P3 with a purple sector 3. Now, next across the line is apparently Matthew, who I don't think that's true. Burton not on a lap. So we'll go to Matthew. Matthew just started. Same with Tazeo as well now. So got a couple of drivers who are still... Cheers, Nisev, mate. As Matthew, I mean, looking okay in the first sector for the Alpine. Jeffyboy, invalid. I think he's on an outlap, so that doesn't matter. Always assume when I see bigger names that it's like they're on a lap. He's, I think, around, yeah, just in the first sector at the moment, or second sector, sorry. So he'll start his lap soon. Matthew looking, I mean, pretty poor so far, really. No offense to him, but I guess that's the Alpine. As he's looking around, oh, Tazeo invalidates his lap, so he'll have to go again. It was looking like an okay lap as well. Before that, Van der Sant 2 tenths down on Shelby in the first sector alone. And we'll see where Matthew can go in that Alpine. He crosses the line. It's exactly a second slower than Shelby. And I mean, he'll definitely want something a little bit more than that in the next in the next lap. Realised while I was getting the numbers wrong, it was because the thing we use to see what number each driver is was actually shrunk because of the sprint. I didn't know that, to be honest. But hey ho, it's Van der Sar rounding through towards the final corner. It's been an okay lap so far. We've seen it most of the way through. Tezeo comes into the pits, so decides that he won't even bother trying to set a second lap. As Van der Sar crosses the line, goes only P8 ahead of Clark and Matthews. So that's his lap. Hazy next across the line. We've got a bit of a gap here because he's only at Lesmo 2. But Jeffyboy behind has just matched. Oh no, sorry, not matched. Just under a tenth off of Shelby in the first sector. So many ERS strategies you can go for. Round in quali, you can go more aggressive in the first sector, and you can go more aggressive in the second, go more aggressive in the third. Like with all the straights in each sector, you can kind of pick and choose which one you actually want to push in. As you see Hazy coming through now towards Parabolica. Jeffy about a tenth and a half down at the moment, kind of puts him up with his teammate. As he invalidates actually at Ascari, so no, not even at the exit, I think. As Hazy goes up into P6, that's a good lap from him. As Davey now starts his lap, so we may as well watch that. Salu actually did another lap and went half a tenth slower than Shelby, but an improvement on his own time. Because of how the auto timers work, it didn't pick that lap up, so apologies. As Tsunami improving by about a tenth on Shelby's first sector. Ellen, are you silly? Ellen's just got schooled by about 2 people as well. Nice one, mate. As Level matches Shelby in the first sector, and Tsunami in the second sector was pretty okay, I believe, but I think it's the final sector he really gained on everyone else. 10th and a half improvement on Shelby, as now we head through Ascari and now through down towards Parabolica. And Tsunami, this is where I feel like he's been burning more of his ERS and thriving compared to the others. We normally see them matching in the first 2 sectors, and then we get to this last sector and Davey would just smoke everyone in that in sprint quali. We'll see if it's the same in this quali session, as round across the line Tsunami goes. He tops the time in by 7 tenths. It's a 17.8 and a great lap time from him. As Level rounds through the final corner, can he do something that he did last session? He comes across the line, it's 7 tenths, but goes up into P2. That lap from Davey, just so much better than everyone else's at this early phase. As Pablos is in the second sector. We're actually, look at Clark, who's has done a lap so far, but not a very good one. As he's no improvement in the second sector, however a bit of an improvement in the first. See what he can muster up in the final sector as he rounds through Parabolica and towards the line, and he comes into the bits. Cheers, mate. As well, Pablos is next across the line in the Ferrari, and Burton moved on to the list as Pablos crosses the line. Can he match his teammate? Is 6 tenths down, but goes up into P2 as Atley next across the line goes up into P9, and Burton goes up into P13. Statlev will be next across the line in the Haas. I think it's been an okay lap so far. Tezeo on a lap as well behind him. As Dave, SV, about 3 tenths down on Davey in the first sector. That lap from Davey is very good, to be fair. As Statlev crosses the line, it's 8 tenths down. It goes up into P5 though. And that is a great lap for the Haas driver, as Tezeo now will try and make his mark on home soil and see whereabouts he can drag the Red Bull up to. He did very well in the last quali, I believe. I think he did okay. I don't know why I'm saying very well. SV invalidates his lap as Tezeo crosses the line, goes up into P2, 5.5 tenths down on on Davey still. But yeah, that lap from Davey's insane. As we'll see if anyone can actually match it. I mean, we haven't seen Jeffyboy or Duffy do laps yet, so we've still got people that can improve. We've got just over 6 minutes left as Shadow comes into the pits. So, fair enough. Van der Sant's on a lap. Apparently he's on the mediums. How much do we believe this? He's on the mediums. So, very... Yeah. Oh, yeah, Duffy has a quali ban. Yeah, whoops. I did say that in the sprint. So, yeah, we won't see Duffy on track. I think Jeffyboy is fine, though. I think he just hasn't done a lap. As Van der Sant tries to get a little bit of slipstream from the Red Bull. 4 attempts down on Tsunami. However, that would still put him at P2 at the moment. So, any improvement counts. As he's... Yep. Okay, that's why. Yeah, I do think Davey definitely has like a different ERS strategy which prioritises the final sector. I have the same as well. It's simple. As Van der Sant crosses the line, where's he going to go? Second down, but he's up into P10. So it's a good lap from him. SV might be on a lap here. So we'll bring up his little timer, see how slow he is. No improvement at all. He's slow. And these are the only 2 people that are actually on laps at the moment, so yeah. So we'll watch Van der Sant come into the pits, basically. Shelby's just come out, so we'll watch Shelby. Was provisional pole for a very long time. And then did get it taken away by the inevitable of Tsunami. Tsunami probably doesn't even need to do another lap, to be honest, to get pole position. However, still. As Salu comes out as well. So we see a couple of the drivers now starting to make their way out. Salu loves his double runs, so I'm sure we'll see that from him. As Atlee comes out early as well. So just currently these 3. As Salu is actually ahead of Shelby, so we will watch Salu do a lap. I think we rarely watch Salu, I feel. I don't know why. We definitely do, but yeah, of course, currently in the championship is P2, and after that sprint race on 134 points, did gain on his teammates because his teammate did just decide to have a spin in lap 1. But yeah, it's one of those. Oh, this quality of life improvement that Mon said about is like worthless to me. Yeah, I don't think Jeffyboy has a quali ban. Pretty sure he just hasn't done a lap. I don't know. I thought it was only Duffy who had a quali ban going into this race, but yep. As Salu and Shelby setting what could be their final runs. Salu does always kind of come out a little bit earlier for a clear track, as we got just over 3 minutes left of the session to go. And these 3 have started their laps. Salu slow in the first sector already by 3 attempts, cuts across. And little does he know that's actually can be penalised. But anyway, Shelby will be the next person to cross the line. As Atlee about 10th down on Tsunami in the first sector. Shelby improving on his sector 1. And we'll see how he can do in sector 2, as he's a 10.5 down on Tsunami. So see, this is what we kind of have been seeing in sprint quali as well, was kind of matching Tsunami in the first 2 sectors. We get to the final sector and it's just out of the water really. And we see no improvement, as Atlee's doing a great lap so far, 3.5 attempts down on Tsunami. Puts him to P2. However, I've said about this final sector, as Shelby crosses the line, he goes 5 attempts down but goes up into P2 ahead of his teammate, and Atlee will be next across the line in the Haas car. See what lap time he can actually put together. I believe Salu starts his lap as well, as Atlee goes up into P9, and Salu will be completing his lap soon as well. As he has a Ferrari ahead of him, tries to get a little bit of slipstream, but just can't do it. Tsunami isn't always this fast, I can't lie. Tsunami's always like had good pace, but last time out he literally was like P16 in quality. Yeah, and only got very lucky, I think, yeah, Davey got like really lucky from a safety car as well, I believe. So it's like well, it was a VSC actually, but yeah, it's it's crazy to think how much can change in a week. Maybe it's just the car. I mean, we saw TJ get a podium in Div 3 last night, so maybe it's just the Ferrari genes. 2.5 attempts down at the moment for Salu. Tezeo set to purple sector 1 as well, so Tezeo flying in that first sector as Salu's got a great slipstream from the Aston. A lot of traffic though, not getting out the way as much. That Aston really throwing Salu off his line as well, so that's not going to help Salu at all. As round across the line, we'll see where can Salu go. He goes up into P2. It's 4.5 attempts down, and well, that's not the greatest for him. However, he was impeded, like surely a little bit. Tezeo fastest in sector 1, fastest in sector 2. We're watching Statlev. We're gonna switch to Tezeo, who's right behind him, because Statlev is Tezeo, sorry, is looking to be on for a great lap here. Of course, Davey is on a lap as well, so can improve. Tezeo, can he take away pole position away from Tsunami? Statlev goes up into P3. Tezeo, it's a 10.5 down, goes up into P2. Hazy next across the line in the Sauber. Tezeo can't knock Tsunami off of his top step. And, I mean, that is an insane lap, as I said, from Tsunami. Hazy crosses the line, goes up into stays P13. And Terry next across the line. Can he improve? Goes up into P8. We'll see the other Racing Bulls come across the line next of Cody Clark. As he crosses the line, goes P16 up to P14. As Pablos, can he match his teammate in any way? The Ferrari seems quick. Can he prove that it's the Ferrari? Crosses the line, goes up into P3. That's a great lap for him. And there's still plenty of drivers who are on quick laps behind. Van der Sant crosses the line, goes up into P7. Great lap from him. His teammate goes up into P12. Matthew next across the line in the Alpine. We'll see what he can do as he crosses the line. P16 for him. Tsunami next across the line. And, I mean, he's already provisional pole position. I think that is going to be pole position. Jeffyboy is also on a lap. As Tsunami can't improve on his lap. We'll see where actually Jeffyboy is at this point. As Murphy goes up into P8. Level, can he improve? Jeffyboy is on a lap right behind Level. Level, can he take away pole position at all? No, he can't. It's only P8 for him as Jeffyboy next across the line. Can he take away Tsunami's pole position in the McLaren? And it's only P5 behind his teammate. And Tsunami makes it a double pole position here in Monza. I accidentally put the championship one on. That is not what I wanted. I wanted that one. And Tsunami takes pole position in the Ferrari for the actual race this time. Tezeo on that front row. And, well, what an interesting race we have lined up. As I just need to, real quick, get rid of that because it gets in my way. Right, well there you are, Davey taking pole position with his banker lap. That was an exceptional lap, as I said, many a time. And, I mean, Statlev putting in a good shift this time. Was nowhere near that pace in the other session. Shadow not being able to set a lap. And, of course, Josh Duffy at the back with a quali ban. We'll see where he can get at the end of this race. We'll definitely need a good lap one. Van der Sant finally showing some pace again. Going up in P8 in the Aston. Ahead of the Level. Very close up the top. It wasn't close for pretty much the entire quali session with Davey beasting the session. And now we get ready for the actual main event. As we're going to have probably a mix of strategies today with the one stop and the two stop. It really depends on safety cars as well. If there's an early safety car, we'll see them pit again and we'll see them do a two stop. If there is not an early safety car, we'll probably see a lot of the top guys do one stops and a lot of the kind of midfield to back markers will probably do two stops. Tyre wear around here on those mediums is shocking. But we get ready for the race to start. Of course, everyone on the grid just taking their time with it, of course, because that would be too easy to, you know, ready up straight away. Actually, we don't want them to ready up straight away because that causes problems. So we will we'll wait here. See if Ferrari can make it a 1-2 in the main race as well. And really salvage something of what has been a pretty average season for them so far. Especially in this division. As this is just Eagle Ramble at this point. Which is of course great. If someone could check how Charlotte is doing, that would be very nice. See how she's doing in W1. Cheers, Cody, mate. Thanks. Just been told to shush by the great Cody. I feel offended. As you get ready to start. Doesn't look like there's a cloud in the sky, so should be a dry race. However, now that I've said it, it'll probably like rain. Right. Yes, SV, come on. SV ready to finish a lap down. I'm sure you are, buddy. Just don't get a puncture. As we're still waiting for everyone, of course, to ready up. But right, here we go for the formation lap. And Davey sets us off again, and we'll see what kind of start times we're dealing with. I would expect, yeah, there you go. I would expect a lot of medium runners, and we're having Shadow on the hard tyres there. So going for a different strategy, but fair enough to him. And yep, Tsunami just. Yeah, maybe SV, maybe it's your driving style. Yep. As we see the projected pit strategies. A 3-stop is on the cards here. I don't think we'll be seeing any of those, planned 3 stops, but maybe we'll see a couple. As it's again the 2 Ferraris doing very well. Of course, we saw it in the sprint. Are we going to see it in the main race? That is the question. I mean, Tezeo is splitting them up at the moment. And then, of course, we have the 2 championship rivals in P4 and P5. So they're going to be fighting among themselves. But, you have to think they are also in the same team. And I don't think this is like real life with papaya rules. This is genuine. I'm pretty sure Toes just says race. So maybe we'll have an interesting fight. Salu, I believe, is yet to win a race, I believe. So that's quite entertaining. Tsunami rounds through Parabolica to get ready to start this race. Don't really know what to say here. As we get ready to finally see some racing, which will be beautiful. As Tsunami slots into P1. Tezeo next to him will want a good start. As we see the guys at the back starting to get into position. And Duffy will be the final one to do so. I mean, that's a horrible camera angle to try and view last place. As we'll get ready for the start of the race. Tsunami will want a good launch like he got in the sprint race. We'll see if we get that. As we wait and are ready for 5 red lights. Is it going to be a long hold this time? It's a little bit long. We are underway for the Monza GP, and it's a good start from Davey. Tezeo coming straight across on Pablos to try and cover, and that's allowed Jeffyboy to try and make a move down the inside. He's going to try and make the inside down of the Red Bull as well, and he's side by side round turn 2. The other McLaren trying to get past Pablos as well. There's a little bit of contact from the exit, and I think that's Jeffyboy has taken P3 as Salu, actually. I just should not speak. As Pablos under pressure from Jeffy, trying to hold it as they're side by side, and Jeffy's going to hold it down the inside. There's a bit of contact between the two, and Jeffy hold down the inside through Lesmo 1. They're side by side, and Jeffyboy is just peeping ahead of Pablos and takes P4, but they've dropped back about a second already from the group, the lead group. But Tazeo putting pressure on Tsunami early on in this race. He knows he needs to this time, as Pablos is trying to hold off as well from now Statlev behind. As we'll switch to interval, because that is so much nicer to see. Van der Sant sticking with here. Shelby down in P8. As Level already pushing down to P13 and P14. He's really struggling down this straight, getting swarmed by everybody. But we're going to cut to the leaders here as we watch Tazeo try and chase down Tsunami. He knows he needs to get a move done early on, because Tsunami at the late stage of the sprint race, well, early stage of the sprint race, sorry, pulled away and it was impossible to catch. He'll want to make sure that he doesn't have that situation happen again. As no moves into turn one for the front guys. As further back, you see Murphy going side by side with Atlee, and Atlee's going to try and get the exit, but just can't. And that allows Murphy to go up into P9. As further behind, I believe it's... I'm just trying to figure out who that was, actually, to be honest. I think it was Terry trying to make a move as Tazeo has got a move done into turn four, and has made the move for the lead. And we missed it because it was so unexpected, to be honest. Was looking at everyone else coming through towards that corner. I didn't even realise that Tazeo had the move. As SV has spun again, this time at the Lesmos. And SV, I mean, is he washed? As Tazeo now leads the way through Ascari. Davey dropping down to P2 for the first time pretty much since quali. Since literally probably the start of sprint quali. So that's insane. And Tazeo can now dictate the pace of the race. I'm sure that Tsunami will want to get back past him as quick as possible as we head now on to lap 3. And Tsunami may be under a little bit of pressure from Salu, but he's going to provide some pressure as well on Tazeo as down the straight. Pablos trying to make a move into turn 1, and towards turn 1, Salu thought about it as Pablos has the inside line for Jeffyboy and does keep on to P4. Sets a fast slap as well, as further behind. See Shelby fighting away with the Aston Martin of Van der Sant here for P7. As further back, Shadow gets past, and Terry and Duffy having a little fight here. This is for P12, as Duffy right in the mix of it as they go in towards turn 4. Duffy down the inside is going to maybe make contact. Barker holds him well, and Hazy now trying to make a move on him. Level is behind him, actually, so really struggled at this early stage. And there you go, Duffy's been overtaken by Hazy now and is down in P14 and P15 for the two Mercedes cars. Oh, sorry. As Duffy just trying to make some moves, but just got caught. He was up to P11, I think, at one point there in that little scrap, and has somehow ended up back down in P14. So really struggling in this early phase, but he's got a great exit compared to Hazy. But we're going to cut back to this front group as Tsunami sits within the DRS of Tazeo. And I think he's rather close. He can make a move maybe into turn 1. Tazeo's going to try and burn as much as he can. Tsunami's moves to the inside, and it's going to be an easy enough overtake. Tries not to break a little bit of contact there through turn 1, but Tsunami retakes the lead away from Tazeo. Is Tazeo going to take that lion down? I think he is, to be honest. He's going to maybe try and move into turn 4. Nah, he's not close enough. That's where he got past last time. And holds position down in P2. As behind is kind of all normal, as we got a DRS train from P1 all the way down to Hazy in P15. So everyone's sticking in the main group. It's going to be difficult if you are outside of that group. It's now just connected at Shadow, so now it's pretty much the entire grid is in this one DRS train for the lead. Tazeo sticking very close to Tsunami. Tsunami not being able to pull away. They weren't fighting as much as they were at the start of the sprint race, where they were side by sides and slowing each other down as much as they wanted at the start. But this time around, it's seeming like Tsunami is going to have to work for this win, as Tazeo makes maybe a little mistake there into Parabolica, maybe loses a bit of time to Tsunami and Salu as well, who's tucked up right behind. We'll see on the onboard they're very close, but of course both have DRS. Tazeo burning a little bit to try and maintain the gap between him and Tsunami. The worst that can happen would probably be for Tazeo to drop out of that DRS and let Tsunami just run away. and then be the lead train. It will be bad for him as Duffy makes another move as well on Barker. They're still side by side. Level is trying to get involved as well, and now they're side by side as well. The two teammates going towards turn 4. Duffy takes P12. Level is going to take P13 as well, as we turn our attentions back to the leaders with Tazeo tucked up right behind Tsunami still. Davey just holding on, and Tsunami is actually going to make a move into Ascari. He's burnt his ERS, he's made the move, and he now retakes the lead away from Tsunami. However, maybe not the smartest place to do it, as Burton further back has spun round. Yeah, maybe not the best place to do it, because now, down the main straight, Tsunami's going to have DRS, and it's not going to be in favour of Tazeo. Tazeo is definitely going to lose the lead. Unless Tsunami, maybe, unless he can do anything to defend against Tsunami, but DRS plus overtake plus everything throwing out at him, he's going to lose that position. As there you go, Tsunami down the inside towards turn 1, and he's going to make the move stick, as both drivers kind of weaved across there, and I got a bit scared that we see a little bit of contact. As Tazeo, is he going to try and make the move again into turn 4? 10-second penalty for Burton for speeding in the pits, and he's retired. So that's Burton out of the race. Leaves as well after that spin. Tazeo, no move into turn 4 this time. However, we've seen that he's made an overtake there and Ascari so far. So maybe not going for more traditional overtakes, maybe struggling in the straights. As we still watch on with these lead group. I mean, the lead group is technically anywhere up to P12 with Duffy. Well, maybe not even Duffy. Duffy isn't even in the train at the moment for the lead. So, actually, ignore me when I said Duffy. As Tazeo sits around 2 tenths behind Tsunami at this current time. And it seems... it seems like they're just kind of chilling out a little bit. Is he going to try and make the move into Parabolica? No, he's not. I thought for a minute he was going to try and burn a little bit more ERS, as I think he's closer this time around than he has been the last few. We'll see if Tazeo can finally get a move done on Tsunami. Tsunami doing great so far down the straights. I think Tazeo just can't compete with that, because he's gaining a little bit but not enough, and has to hold position in P2. The leaders just holding it, as Murphy side by side with Shelby down the inside going through turn 2. They're going to make a little bit of contact but leave enough space for each other. Shelby down the outside now for turn 3, and Murphy gets that position up into P8. Shelby showed so much pace in that first sprint race, and now maybe just struggling a little bit in the main race, or maybe just conserving his tyres. Hazy has pit as well during all of that. So Hazy, the first person to pit onto the medium, onto the hard, sorry. So he's doing a 2-stop. So we are on lap 7 now. So I think with the 2-stop strategy, we'll start to see people in soon. But I don't think these top guys should be going for that strat, as that is the slower one of the two. Who would have thought it, eh? As Tsunami just keeps the pace at his own level, doesn't need to pull away, has a nice enough gap, as P8 is showing. Oh my god, look at this. I don't even know what to say here. They're 3 wide. Duffy's trying to make a move as well. Duffy's made a move. He's made a move on Terry there, and now he's going to try and set up a move on Atlee. There are about 5 cars there, just all within the same space, the same bit of tarmac, as Salu actually going down the inside of Tazeo for P2 there. Got tired of waiting around for Tazeo to make a move, and now he's made the move up into P2. However, he's dropped back a little bit from Tsunami in making that move. We're going to try and get back onto this fight here going on between these 5 drivers, squabbling over P9 now. This is, as there's a yellow flag, and I believe that is the Alpine of Matthew has now spun round. So the Alpine's not having a great day, as after all that, Duffy takes P9 and Shelby drops back into P10, and now they're chasing down Atlee. Now we focus back on the leaders. This time Salu is going to be the one making the moves. We want to look at warnings. Sure, we'll look at warnings real quick. No one in the top 5 has any warnings. The rest of the grid's kind of fighting each other, so maybe just struggling to keep it on track a little bit. So we're going to turn that off now, because to be honest, I don't really care about warnings. It's more about the racing. As Jeffyboy uses the RS in a strange place as well and overtakes Pablos up into P4. So this is the first chance that we're seeing at Salu having a chance at overtaking on Tsunami, as we see Tazeo pitting early on lap 9. So could be seeing a two-stop from him. Statlev comes in as well, and a lot of drivers now coming in. Shelby's coming at the same time as well. Terry with a 10-second time penalty. Both the Red Bulls coming in for pit stops is maybe a bit of a strategy blunder, as now there's a little bit of a gap between the top two and Jeffyboy. As we saw 5 cars there, I believe, pit. Maybe 4, I'm not sure. As SV pits as well from behind. Not that he's doing much really in this race. As the grid kind of settles down a little bit now, as we see the difference in strategies. I mean, it's going to be all about the undercut for Tazeo. However, is it a kind of risky move to pull? As of course, pitting this early is maybe a little bit risky, as there's a 25-second gap now between Davey and Tazeo. So I think outside the pit window. So at the moment, Davey could come in, and actually Salu has decided to react to Tazeo. Jeffyboy continues on. Van der Sant moves up into P3. This is a great race for him so far. As are we going to see any more pitters? Duffy comes into the pits. So we've got a couple other drivers just staying out. They don't see the need to pit at this current time. As Shadow makes the move on Barker. Easy overtake for him. And on that alternate strategy, he's up into P7 at the moment. So looking pretty good. As we'll have a little look at the tyre wear. Nice one. The tyre wear. Currently around 70% for those top guys. 78% for Tsunami, so just struggling on his tyres. Maybe a little bit more than the rest. Van der Sant is sitting close to Jeffyboy. 80% wear now on Tsunami's car, so Tsunami will need to maybe pit in soon. I'm not really sure when the pit window is for the one stop, sorry. As Van der Sant doing very well at the moment to stick with this group. Barker sitting with Shadow as well. Pretty nicely for P7. I mean, more probably Shadow sitting with everyone else. Tazeo makes the move on Salu, and of course that is for position actually. That is for a net P2, as the top two finally come into the pits. So they've had Tazeo's had about 2 laps extra, as Salu's only had the 1. And Level takes the lead of the race in the Mercedes. Shadow takes P2. Clark up into P3. There's a lot of cars that have gained heavily from this, and we'll see whereabouts Tsunami comes. As he comes out of the pits, you see Tazeo coming down the straight. Tazeo's made a move there, pass, and Salu trying to make a move on Tazeo but can't. But Tazeo has just taken a beautiful undercut and potentially taken the net. Well, that is the net race lead for Tazeo now, with Salu jumping up a spot as well with only 1 lap older tyres. It could be okay for them. As we look at the tyre age, you see 1 lap, 2 lap and 0. So there's not much of a difference between those laps for the top for those front runners who are fighting each other. So by the end of the race, we'll see very similar tyre wear, as Jeffyboy is trying to make moves on Pablos, who is also kind of in the DRS of Statlev as well. So they're all kind of close together at the moment. We are going to cut back to Salu into Ascari, who can't make that move, and now Tsunami is the one that's got to sit behind and watch these two squabble, which is the position that Salu was in a couple laps ago. As Salu sits behind Tazeo, waiting and biding his time to try and make a move in towards turn 1. We'll see if he can get the ERS and the DRS deployment working its wonders, as Clark finally pits into the and Level staying out a little bit longer, as Salu is gonna not try and make a move there. Maybe thought about the outside, but Tezeo very quick to shut the door as he moved back onto the racing line. As Josh Duffy sets the fastest lap, doing pretty very low key in this race, currently P10. As we watch on with, okay, I guess we're on board. On with Tsunami, who sits behind Salu, maybe not being as aggressive as he was in that other stint. In the other stint. And I mean, he's in that current position where he can kind of bide his time a little bit and just wait it out, sit in P3, wait for the others' tyres to fall off. I mean, it's we'll see how the tyre wear is affected by the end, as I'd like to know. Level's tyre wear is only just 82%. Shadow's is 84 on those hards, so that strategy has not worked for Shadow. So there is a yellow flag, and actually, level, it's round. I think he's got a puncture. Level has got a puncture. I was looking at the tyre wear as well. He gets a puncture, so has to come in. He's spun around across the track. Hopefully, no one hits into him. And that has ruined his race in the Mercedes, as there's a Williams almost hitting into him. Level gets a 10-second time penalty for a collision with Attlee. I don't think there was a collision there, but sadly, he's going to have to serve that. Shadow takes the lead of the race, but he was on 80% tyre wear there. Tyre wear there, nice words. And Tsunami finally making a move on Salu as well during his time. He's just made that round the outside of turn 3. Caught Salu completely napping there. And Tsunami now takes the net P2 and will be chasing down Tezeo. That's so unfortunate for Level to have that 10-second as well. That is a very unfortunate result for him, and it'll sit him right at the back of the field for most likely the rest of the race. The strategy blunder did not work. Shadow is maybe at risk of getting a puncture as well, so probably needs to come in anytime soon. You see him, the gap's closing between these two of Tezza and Tezza, I've just said. I think I've been saying, yeah, Tezeo, sorry. I've said Tezza. Oh dear. Tezza's down in P11, mate. As Tezeo is still leading, as you see that is Level coming out of the pits, a lap down. That is insane for him, as Tsunami goes for the move down the inside into turn 1. He's going to need a better exit out of turn 2 to put up a fight against Tsunami. Nice. Tezeo, oh my god, we messed up everyone's names today. As Tsunami tries round the outside, Tezeo's going to give him the space and give him the room, and Tsunami retakes the net race lead here. And as they get ever closer to Shadow, Level, he kind of needs to get out of the way as well, because he is getting blue flags. Oh, nice. As Tsunami has to see position 2. Oh my god. Tezeo has to see position 2 Tsunami there. As Level now gets past Shadow. Of course, Shadow is the leader. As Level gets a 10-second time penalty for ignoring. And Shadow gets a puncture. Shadow puncture. No. And it's a very similar incident to what happened with Level. With the fact that he just tries to push it too much. This is, it's so unfortunate for the Sauber team. Both drivers of Shadow and Level tried too much. And Shadow, pretty much, his race is over. That's it. He's down in P18 with a puncture at Ascari. He is stuck. As Jeffyboy gets past Statlev. That's a move for P5. Statlev not going to put up much of a fight. As same with Duffy. They're getting up into P7. But now we focus back on Level, another 10 seconds. I'm guessing he just didn't get out of the way. He's now got 20 seconds of pens. That is not good for Mercedes. Mainly not for the fact that, you know, of course he's last. And it's not all about that. You know, it's the financial benefits of getting 20 seconds of penalties. Not the smartest. Shadow is going to be near Level when he comes back out. I think he's going to get lapped. So considering he was literally P1 when he spun, that's, yeah, one lap too many. Very unfortunate for Shadow as Tezeo takes back the lead towards Ascari. Definitely just got a warning there for cutting the track. That takes the lead away from Tsunami again. Tezeo doing very well to hold off Tsunami this time. I mean, in the sprint race, no one could hold back Tsunami. He slowed down purposefully to give Pablos the DRS, and now he's got a real fight on his hands for this race win. I mean, anyone from P5 to in the top 5, maybe even Duffy as well, could win this race. As Tsunami down the inside towards turn 1, it's going to be a routine move for him, and he retakes the lead again after just losing it about 3 seconds ago. As there you go, Level stays out of the way of this fight here, which is Van der Sant and Hazy for P8. As Tezeo burning a little bit to try and keep close to Tsunami, and just can't get close enough as we head through turn 4 and turn 5. I don't know the names of that corner, to be honest. I know these are the Lesmos, with Lesmo 1 and Tsunami doing a great defensive job through these sections, enough that he doesn't need to push. I mean, he can just DRS like share with Tezeo's Level, gets a 3 seconds to add salt to the wound, as Tezeo gets back past Tsunami again in towards the Scari. So there's definitely a little bit of DRS sharing going on right now, as Tezeo not getting away from Tsunami as much on the exit there, so under a little bit more pressure than he would have preferably liked towards Parabolica, and maybe gets on the grass a little bit too much as well. So Tsunami will take back the lead. Needs to be careful that Salu doesn't get in the mix here, as the top 7 in a DRS train, as Tsunami retakes the lead again. And Salu still holding behind with Pablos behind him. They're all just kind of sitting in this little train, making a couple moves every now and then. Terry finally pits in, down to P14 now, and will be back to the back of the grid, well, P17, on that 2-stop strategy. So you've got 11 laps to go in this race, and kind of seems like we're going to be seeing these two fighting. Shadow gets a 10-second time penalty for ignoring the blue flags. As we'll have a little look at the tyre wear. Tezeo, who pits the earliest out of everyone, is on 42%. I really don't think he's going to be able to hold on to those tyres by the end of the race. The others, though, 29, 30%, 37, 33. You're going to be seeing them, I believe, make it to the end easily, as Tezeo, of course, retakes the lead again, just like has happened for the last 3 laps. But at the moment, the best tyre wear in that top group is Tsunami, but only very slightly ahead of Salu, who pit a lap earlier as well. So there is a lot to play for here, maybe especially with Tezeo's tyres, which seem to be going off very quickly with that 42%. That is going to really kill, as Tsunami is going to retake the lead again from Tezeo. We're just watching these two just swap each and every lap. And further, Shelby gets a 10-second actually for the Red Bull. Shelby retires as well. I mean, that is very unfortunate for him. Scores his first points in that sprint race, and then I think it was, by the way, I'm not 100% factual on that, but does retire in the pits. SV, by the way, up to P11, definitely improvement from his sprint race result, as we see Tezeo maybe under a little bit more pressure this lap on Salu than Tsunami. Tsunami seems to have broken away a little bit, giving himself a bit of a buffer, not getting overtaken into a Scari this time. Salu, though, definitely seems to be at risk, as Duffy makes the move on Statlev. I really, well, surprised it took that long, to be honest. It seemed like he was more just biding his time and waiting for the perfect moment, as Tsunami has actually broken away from the DRS here of Tezeo. So now Tezeo very much at risk from Salu and the cars behind. I think with those dying tyres as well, we'll be seeing him come into the pits anytime soon to swap on to some new hard tyres. As down the straight now, no one close enough to Tezeo, but no one close enough to Tsunami to even get DRS as he sets the fastest lap. He really needed that as well to pull away, so that's all he had to do was lock in for one lap when Tezeo looks vulnerable, and he's done the job well, as he's now 1.7 ahead, and it seems to be this fight for P2 that is more on the cards. Of course, Salu, as it stands, only 2 positions ahead of his championship rival. And if we look at that, compared 15 points to 10, he's going to still be in P2 on 149, and his teammate will still be ahead of him in the drivers' standings. So we need to make a couple more positions. 10-second time penalty for Shadow again for those blue flags, just not getting out the way quick enough. Both Level and Shadow being on 23 seconds of penalties, so really butchering their race even more, and the finances of both Sauber and Mercedes. Not that it really matters in this day and age for both of those teams. Next season, come on. As we head on to lap 20 now, out of 27. Tezeo still going very well on those tyres, however, they are dying, and Salu, probably the closest he's been that lap, still got the best tyres out of the top 6. So Salu looking in a good position. Tsunami maybe looking in a little bit of a better one. But 56% tyres for Tezeo. It's going to be a very big struggle and a big ask to get him to the end on those tyres. As Matthew pits further behind. Seen lots of one-stops, which is very good to see drivers actually committing to one-stops now, as Tsunami has a 2-second gap over this group. So really clearing the field a little bit as Jeffyboy sits behind Pablos. Could maybe make a little move into Ascari, but I don't think he's close enough this time around. And the unfortunate thing is that Pablos is getting that DRS as well, as further behind. I think that Shadow has spun round. It might be Hazy. It is Shadow. Yeah. Shadow spins round and his race goes from bad to worse, I guess. I mean, was leading and is now, down in last. As Jeffyboy under a bit of risk here from Duffy, actually. Duffy coming out of absolutely nowhere and just clutching up. Of course, started last place in this race. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? No, he doesn't. Sits behind just this time. And I'm sure we'll see a chance for him later on. As Duffy maybe a dark horse in all of this, as somehow not as many warnings I thought, as Duffy tries to maybe shape up a little move into turn 4. Can't do it. Just had a lot more speed though than Jeffyboy. Jeffyboy maybe struggling in this stage of the Grand Prix on those tyres, and Duffy maybe in the better position out of the 2 drivers. I mean, Salu is somehow still not past Tezeo, and Tezeo is struggling on those tyres. I feel like we're going to see a move in towards turn 1 this time. We'll tune into that fight for P2, and Salu will want to make a move to just get more points over his teammate. He won't want Tezeo to pit in at all. He will want Tezeo to go the distance and hold off Jeffyboy for as long as possible. Will not want him to hold himself though, as this little fight here has caused Tsunami to gain 3 seconds on these guys. As this lap, Salu as close as he'll ever be, round the outside. He makes the move easy. Tezeo doesn't fight it at all, knows that that is not his race at this current moment, and Salu has now taken P2 away and can now chase down Tsunami. However, Tezeo not going to make it easy, actually going to try and make it hold a move round the outside towards turn 4. Can't make it stick though, and has to settle for 3rd position. However, that's still, of course, where it's a respectable position to be, but those tyres are just in such a bad state. I wouldn't be surprised if Salu drops him over the next couple laps. We might see Salu just pull away that little bit extra, as we'll see how that affects the championship standings, as he actually takes the lead of the championship with that move with 152 points. His teammate will be on very similar. I'm not 100% sure on what points, so it'll be a very close gap as we actually look, and we'll see how close is that gap. 152 to 152. Hang on, I'm on P5, so it shouldn't be that. We'll try again. There you go. 152 to 150 in the championship. So, I mean, it's very much up for grabs here as Pablos now sets his sights on Tazeo. Maybe shaping up a move in towards turn 1. He can't make it stick this time around. He seemed like he was gaining a little bit more at the start of the straight, but now is under pressure from Jeffyboy as well. So Jeffyboy putting pressure on Pablos, and maybe a bit more pressure than Pablos would like himself. Is he going to try and make a move down the inside towards turn 4? They bang wheels a little bit, and there's a tiny bit of contact. Pablos has to take to the curb. He's overtaken Jeffyboy. I mean, in real world, should definitely give back the position, as that was big contact between the two. There's actually a fight going on for P9 right now as we look, and actually Murphy is now is under pressure. This is SV, sorry, I think, no? Oh no, they're different cars, Jesus Christ. As Jeffyboy makes the move on Pablos and cuts the corner as well to make it even better. But heads up into P4, realising that Pablos maybe just didn't have the pace. We look at the tyre wear of Pablos, 66% compared to 60. Tazeo on the 75 at the moment, but hanging in there very well. Salu still on the best tyre wear of the top 6. By a little way though, by a wee way to be fair. Jeffyboy's tyres are looking okay as well. Pablos maybe shaping up a move on Jeffyboy into turn 1. He sticks his nose a little bit just to the side to show him he's there, but doesn't end up making the move as Jeffyboy makes a big mistake out of turn 2, sliding out of the corner. And it's really allowed Pablos to put pressure on him towards turn 4. And we're going to see a move down the inside. We saw this last lap. Pablos had to make contact. They make contact again. This time both stay on track. Pablos really wanting to hold this position. And Jeffyboy goes down to P5 and they're dropped 2 seconds back from the rest of the pack. So now Jeffyboy losing more points compared to his teammate. Pablos really making the job difficult. But Pablos won't have DRS this time around because he dropped back so much fighting. And Duffy makes the move down the inside into Ascari. He gets a 3-second as well. Hits into the side of Jeffyboy. They're side by side on the exit. And Jeffyboy makes the move into P5, but they're side by side down towards Parabolica. And it seems that Jeffyboy is going to get the position. However, maybe he's burnt a little bit too much ERS going down that straight to now mess him up for the main straight. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move on Pablos with the lower ERS amount that he will have. We're on lap 25 out of 27. And Duffy kind of out of this fight for the lead here because of, well, for the lead, for a podium. And even for P4, to be honest, with that 3 seconds, he'll drop back 2 positions as it stands with that 3 seconds. So not the greatest for him, but maybe he'll try and report that decision. Jeffyboy just stuck behind Pablos at the moment. Pablos really defending heavily for what could be a great day for Ferrari as Terry is out of the race in the pit lane. Not 100% sure on the reasoning behind that, to be honest. I've already done the tyre wear about 6 times, mate. As Duffy looking to make a move on Jeffyboy. Of course, for him it means nothing unless he can maybe get a warning removed. But, I mean, I might be a bit long as we look at the track limits, to be fair. The top 2 being very clean, but Tazeo, Jeffyboy and Duffy, of course, Duffy having a 3. But yeah, they're all on 2. Pablos on the 1, so Pablos looking okay for track limits. All it takes is, you know, a little fight with Jeffyboy and a little bit of banging wheels, and, well, there you go. It's, you know, a 3. So it all depends on how this final few laps, is going to unwrap. Bro, these guys begging for tyre wear, so we'll just put it up. But it seems like at the moment, like Tazeo's on 86, he's struggling. He might have a puncture late on. I mean, Statlev as well on 85 is going to be crazy. We're turning it off now because I don't even care. Jeffyboy still behind Pablos. Tazeo has a 3.7 second buffer at the moment. but he has 1.5 laps to hold on to those very old tyres, can maybe afford to slow down a little bit here. He's got 4 seconds. He's trying to gain on Pablos, so he's not exactly tyre saving at the moment. It more seems that Teseo is just trying to push on, and Teseo maybe needs to rein it in a little bit and slow down as the last lap commences. I don't know what that meant, but this is Jeffyboy's last chance to try and make a move on Pablos. And here we go round through Parabolica, and we start the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix. Will Jeffyboy be able to get past the Ferrari of Pablos? There's a yellow flag further behind. There's been a puncture, and it's for SV again. SV with a puncture. Jeffyboy does make the move on Pablos. That was coming from a mile away. And the McLaren now up into P4. Is Pablos going to be able to hold a move at all? I don't think so. It's all really a bit confusing because we're trying to look at, of course, this fight, but then you've got, you know, Teseo's tyres, which are looking in ruin right now. If we really look at where he is, are we going to see a spin for the Red Bull driver? I mean, we saw it, and there we go! The puncture's gone, and he hits the wall on the final lap. Teseo's tyre gives way and gives Jeffyboy a free podium here. And that is so unfortunate for the Red Bull. We all knew it was happening. As soon as that happened, he goes into the wall. But this man here, untouchable. This whole race, sprint race, check. Main race, check. Davey wins for Ferrari. Ferrari do the double with Div 3 and Div 2. And of course, the sprint race in Div 2. Salu comes home in P2. Pablos gets a P3. Jeffyboy, I think, has had a puncture as well. Yeah, Jeffyboy with a front puncture. So Jeffyboy drops to P6. P7 for Attlee, P8 for Clark. What the hell? Jeffyboy picks up another puncture as well. That was like 5 punctures this race. As Teseo retires as well. I mean, it's insane. Statlev with a puncture as well. And he's in P14 already. P15 is going to go to, well, P14 might go to SV at this point. Oh my goodness. So many punctures there at the dying stages. Of course, Level gets a 10 seconds. And SV is going to round through the final corner. Statlev still just stuck on the edge. SV comes home in P12. Murphy also has a puncture as well. So not only that, we have more punctures. P15 is going to go to Statlev. So P14, sorry, is going to go to Statlev. And he leaves the session. There's no point in continuing. Wow. What an ending to the race. Multiple punctures. Oh, Jeffy got puncture from the debris of Teseo. Nah, that's so unlucky. As he celebrates in front of the Tifosi. It's not really the Tifosi though, is it? Because it's just, yeah, there you go. You see actual people. A lot of red with a double Ferrari podium. Pablos sneaking in there with the Jeffyboy incident. As there we are. The race results with Davey taking max amount of points away from this race. And Daniel van der Sant coming home in P4 after that Jeffyboy incident. Insane. And unfortunate for everyone who got punctures there at the dying stages of the race. Teseo and Jeffyboy and Statlev and everyone else. I mean, Jesus Christ, insane for all of that. I don't want to. There's not many actual, like, you know, yeah. And there we are. The race has ended. There are 33 points for Davey over the course of the race, with the sprint race included. That's crazy. Statlev has left the server after that. That's insane. But there we are. That is the end of RFC Division 2. And we will be back tomorrow for, of course, the classic, the same again, where we will see We'll see what they can do in Div 1. We'll see if we get as many punctures with... Yeah. But anyway, that is the end. And I will see you guys probably next week for another Div 2 race.